mixed race. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it don't have the same resonance because even though you saying only date black women, you're constantly pushing a light-skinned, wavy hair, mixed race, almost racially ambiguous type of a sister. Whereas Dr. Umar, I'm pushing every color. That's why I say the chocolate, the butter almond, the butter pecan, the fudge. I make sure they understand. And I make it clear, I don't care how light she is or how dark she is, I'll date either side.
Right. Let's talk about Shabuzi and Jelly Roll. Shabuzi was accepting the Grammy at the Grammy Awards, and he said some things that kind of had black community having a conversation online. He said that immigrants built this country, and he was speaking directly to his people, you know, in the hand that they had in building America.
And the last thing I want to say, immigrants built this country, literally. So this is for them, for all children of immigrants. This is also for those who came to this country in search of better opportunity.
Black people were offended by that online that I seen. What is your position on that, and do you understand why people are offended by that?
Yes, indeed. First, shout out to Shabuzi. I never heard of him until somebody sent me. First of all, I reacted to the meme. I didn't know who said it. I didn't know he got an award. I never heard of him because I don't follow country music, right?
Right.
I just saw a meme that said, immigrants built America. And I said, here we go with that again, right? Because they're always trying to push some alternative narrative to take away the fact that Africans built the foundation of this country, right? Now, let's say you go out and build a house, Loon. You dig up the ground, you lay the foundation, you put the bricks. I come in after you built the house and I help keep it running. I didn't build the house, though.
No, you did not.
Maintenance is not construction. Do you feel me? Maintenance is not construction. African immigrants may come, European immigrants may come, Canadian immigrants may come, Asian immigrants may come. You may participate in the maintenance and the expansion of the house that American Africans built.
Yes.
See that?
Yes.
We built it.
Yes.
No immigrant built this but the enslaved American African.
Yes.
But after I made my response, because I didn't know it was for Shabuzi, right? I went to go look at the clip. And when I watched the clip, him and the Caucasian gentleman, they won a Grammy, a duo for Best Gospel Performance, I believe it was. And so I watched his speech. And in watching his speech, I cannot say that he meant to intentionally slight the American African people. I didn't feel that. I just felt like he was given accolades to the progress that immigrants have made in America. Now, he could possibly be criticized, although I wouldn't. I think it would be a little bit petty given the occasion, but he could be criticized for not pointing out African immigrants in particular. He said immigrants.
Yes.
So he put himself within the context of all immigrants. He multiculturalized.
Right, and
So
you need historical precision.
Absolutely. So he could
When
be
you talk
criticized.
like that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He could be criticized on that aspect, and he could also be criticized on the aspect that right after that he made a statement where he said, if you come to America, and I'm paraphrasing him, if you come to America, America will give you a chance as long as you're willing to work hard for it. Some people would have saw that as a slight towards the American African, because a lot of our continental African brothers and sisters, when they come here, not most, but many, like to talk about how hard they work, as if we don't work hard. So when he said work hard and you'll get a chance, first of all, we know that's complete crap.
Yes, it is.
That is complete
100%.
crap. Saying that is if you work hard in America, you will make it is complete crap. I can take you to prisons with people who worked hard and ended up in prison because they couldn't feed their family. So working hard in America does not automatically translate to success, nor can it, because we live in a capitalist society. In a capitalist society,
They exploit the
few
work. Yes.
exploit the many.
Yes.
So everybody who works hard does not succeed. In my opinion, that comment would have probably bothered me more than his comment of immigrants having built America. Because you went to that other stereotype that African immigrants work so hard and American Africans don't. And the research clearly shows we work harder. Black women, American African women, the descendants of the Africans who built this country, have more degrees than any other population, including the African immigrants. So you don't work harder. You are not the threat that we are. And I need my continental African brothers and sisters to know this because I love them. I'm a Pan-Africanist, so we all one. But that also means, as one of the leaders of the Pan-Africanist movement, it is my job to check anybody who disrespects or misrepresents the struggle of another branch of the African family. So if I'm in Africa, and I've had to do this before, when I've taken my trips to the continent, sometimes American African or British African brothers will say something to disrespect the continental family. You don't know they struggle. Watch your mouth. And so when the continental Africans come here, or the Caribbean Africans come here, or the British Africans come here, I gotta check them. You don't know our struggle. Watch your mouth. Because if it wasn't for us, you would have never got that job. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got into Harvard. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got into Yale Medical School. If it wasn't for us, you couldn't have married that white girl. Although I wish that was a law we never fought for. If it wasn't for us, you could have never lived in that suburb. If it wasn't for us, you would have never got the scholarship. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you literally are building your life off of the blood of my ancestors, and got the audacity to turn around and insult the blood that gave you an opportunity to thrive in this nation. That's disrespectful. Although we are all African, and I mean this to every branch of the family, because I don't love no branch any more than the other. I am true Pan-Africanist, because there's a lot of hypocritical Pan-Africanists out there. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
They will say Pan-Africanist, and they will practice cultural chauvinism. You feel me?
In what way?
I've had it done to me in Africa, where I've been around certain prominent Pan-Africanists, and they gave me that energy.
Yeah.
I don't really mess with you.
Yes.
Because you got to remember, anywhere I go in the world, I'm the most popular person in that place, except for Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré.
And he just took that spot from
And he
you.
just took that spot,
Yeah.
right? Anywhere else, I'm him, everywhere.
Right.
And some people don't like that I'm bigger than them in their country,
Right.
bigger than them in their city, bigger than them in their town. And that's where a lot of the envy comes from, because they don't understand how he been so hot for so long, where most of us have died off.
So you over here in America fighting on behalf
Of the whole race.
Right. And then you're telling me that you're being slighted in certain circles when it comes to Pan-Africanism.
Absolutely. And that is because a lot of people don't know the true history of Pan-Africanism. I see the memes on social media. Let me say this first one time, to close out on the Shabuzi point.
Yes.
I'm going to give him a pass, because I really don't think the comments were that disastrous to earn the rebuke that they got.
Okay.
At the same time, I understand why many American Africans responded that way, because there is a tendency for some of our African immigrant brothers and sisters to push a false narrative that they work harder than us, when we're the reason you got a chance to work at all over here.
Exactly. We opened the door for the work to even get done.
We opened the door.
It was harder opening the door than it was doing the work.
You didn't shed blood
Yes.
for the rights that you have. We shed the blood for the rights that you have. So imagine you give your life for my right to immigrate to this country, to become a doctor, lawyer, or an engineer, and I poke fun at you after your death for the fact that I think I'm doing better than you in
At
the
this
house
moment.
you built
Right.
at this moment.
Yes.
Here's what I need every African immigrant to understand when you come to America. I don't care if I'm talking to my Canadian brothers and sisters, my Australian brothers and sisters, my South Pacific brothers and sisters, my Central and South American brothers and sisters, wherever you may be on the great African kingdom. You are not a threat to the white power structure of this country. That's why you're allowed to do what you want. Because if you get out of hand, you can be sent back home. It's that simple. We are the only non-white people in America who can never be deported alone, because slavery destroyed our connection to our ancestral motherland. They can't deport us. There's no other group of people in this country who cannot be deported, so they're not going to give you the same opportunity they give a Ghanaian African. They're not going to give you the same opportunity they give a Nigerian African. They're not going to give you the same opportunity they give an Ethiopian African, because if the Ethiopian starts getting out of hand, they're going back to Ethiopia. You see that? You can't be sent nowhere. So there is an intentional effort to control the pace of progress on behalf of the American African. And the problem with some of our continental family is they don't know that history. And they think that when they end up with more than you materialistically or scholastically, it's because they worked harder. No, it's not. If you look at how hard you work, it was no more than we did. But you were allowed to achieve a little bit more because you are not a threat.
Right.
We are the threats.
Yes. Let me ask you this. For someone who doesn't know, like say Shabuzi is watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I also seen Jelly Roll deny to have a conversation about
Jalen Rose.
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll, the white guy.
Yes.
You saw
Now,
him.
did not have a conversation about ICE and about politics,
He
right?
didn't want the conversation.
He didn't want to have a conversation in that moment, right?
Okay.
And he's been, dragged online as well for that. But if Shabuzi is watching this, or even better than that, if a young black boy is watching this and he's confused, and he says, Dr. Umar, please explain to me the role immigrants played and the role that Africans played as it pertains to America. How would you put that plainly?
I would say that African immigrants from around the diaspora, right? Africa, Australia, Canada, they enriched the salad that we had already created. Imagine you go in the kitchen, you make a salad, right?
Yes.
I look at the salad, Loon got the lettuce, the tomatoes, the cucumbers. But Loon ain't got no raisins, Loon ain't got no apples, but Loon made the salad bowl. Loon grew the cucumbers, Loon grew the lettuce, Loon grew the tomatoes. He did the bulk of the work. He laid the foundation for the salad. I could come in with the dressing, I could come in with the cheese, I could boil the egg, but guess what? The hardest work was done by you. And then I come in and add the egg and the cheese and the dressing, the nuts and the raisins, and then I lift this up to the world and say, look at what I did. All Loon did was give the cucumbers and the lettuce and the tomatoes. But without Loon's cucumbers, tomatoes, and the lettuce, you're not even in a position to put the salad
It's
in
not
the
a
cheese on
salad.
that. You understand?
Yeah, it's
and
not
so
a salad.
that's what we want the African immigrants to understand. It's not that you didn't contribute. I can name you African immigrants who contribute significantly to our culture and what we've done. Just like we contributed to theirs, right? The Black Power movement, they got that from us. Pan-Africanism, they got that from us. You see what I'm saying? Pan-Africanism didn't come from Africa. It didn't come from Trinidad. It didn't come from Ethiopia. It came from the enslaved American African. It was us first, then Haiti second, and then Trinidad and Jamaica came. You see what I'm saying? But we were first. The first Pan-Africanist was Paul Cuffe, right here in Massachusetts in the United States. The first act of Pan-Africanism was Prince Hall, of the father of the Black Masons. He was the ones who went to the Massachusetts legislature and said they need reparations and they want to go back home to Africa. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I wouldn't consider him a Pan-Africanist, but that was the first act of Pan-Africanism. But Paul Cuffe was the first Pan-Africanist. This is before the Haitian Revolution, right? So we're first. Pan-Africanism came from us. Today is February 13th. Today is the day that Henry Highland Garnett, grandfather Pan-Africanism. This is before Jamaica. You understand me? This is before them. Henry Highland Garnett was the first black leader to give a speech to the U.S. Congress. He gave it today, February 13th, 1865. He died on the same day, 17 years later in Liberia, because he wanted to go to Africa and fight for the empowerment of Africa from that side. He built one of the first Pan-Africanist organizations in history. He's way before Henry Sylvester Williams. He's way before Haile Selassie.
Wow.
He's way before Kwame Nkrumah. He's way before Marcus Garvey. You follow what I'm
Yes.
saying? So when you're talking about Pan-Africanism, that was born on American soil by free and enslaved Africans during our enslavement. Pan-Africanism was birthed here. The first conference on Pan-Africanism was not Henry Sylvester Williams' 1900 Pan-African Conference in London, right? Henry Sylvester Williams was the Trinidadian brother. He had the conference in London, 1900. The Chicago Conference on Africa was 1894, 1895. Predates that.
Right.
But if you don't know the whole history of Pan-Africanism, you start saying, we did it, we did it, we did it, we did it. But here's my thing. We all did it.
Right.
You see, just because we created it don't make us better than nobody else. Because
So
without
that's
that,
what I'm saying.
it don't
When-
make us no better than nobody else.
Yeah.
But it's important to make sure the historical record is accurate. Because the Haitians have a very strong case for the role they played in Pan-Africanism, because guess what? They were the first nation in the world to say if any black man makes it here, he's a citizen here. Before Ethiopia.
That's hard.
Before Ethiopia.
respect
It
that.
was the Haitians.
Yeah.
That was Jean-Jacques Dessalines who said any black man from America, if you can escape them chains and make it over here, you one of us. Remember, Denmark Vesey, the slave revolt in South Carolina, Denmark Vesey was going to get a ship and sail to Haiti. Most of them wanted to sail to Haiti.
Right.
You see, and
Yes.
not only that, the first 4 presidents of Haiti Guess what they were doing on the open sea, Loon? Intercepting slave ships built without any weapons.
That's hard.
You feel me?
I respect
Jumping
that.
on the ship and taking it.
See, this is the history need to be
Yes,
told.
sir.
Yeah, you
Yes,
see what I'm
sir.
saying? But
Yes,
see,
sir.
if you're an artist like Shabuzi, and we do want you to use your voice as a tool,
Yes.
but he needs talking points. They need understanding.
They do.
Because when you speak that way and the historical context is missing, it can be weaponized or it can be utilized in a way that you wasn't intended for it to be used.
That's true, but I'm going to say this. You're absolutely correct, but I want to add this clarifying point. Education does not replace emotion. This is what I mean, Loon. I can tell Loon the true history of Pan-Africanism all day. But if Loon wants to continue to say that Pan-Africanism started here, or Pan-Africanism started here, or Pan-Africanism started here because he is an ethnic chauvinist and wants to put his people above others,
Right.
the education don't mean nothing. Because in your heart, you think your people are better than other black people. Do you see what I'm saying? So we can educate Shabuzi and the rest of them, and I'm sure he's a good brother. I don't know him, but I'm sure he's a good brother.
But we're speaking to the prototype. We're speaking to...
But what I'm saying is the mindset. Case in point, the white man. We can educate the white man all day. Is he gonna stop being a white supremacist? No.
Right.
You see
But
what I'm
I
saying?
think
So
the
there's a point
white
where
man...
education stops.
I think the white man may have a better reason to ignore it. But I think Shabuzi or something, not even him, let's not,
Right.
those young black boys like him, they may be hungry for the information because
Sure.
I look at that also, while he did not have the historical precision he needed, I do look at it like he's trying to be a warrior. Like he's trying to use his
I
voice
would
to...
give Shabuzi a pass because I don't, from what I saw, I don't know him. I've never heard any interviews. But from what I saw, I didn't see a brother who was trying to intentionally slight
Yes.
the American African people. I really felt that for the most part, he was innocent in his ignorance.
Yes.
What do you all
There you
hear me
go.
say about the Negro and the
Yes.
the Negro is innocent in his ignorance. He just don't know. The knows the truth, but chooses to play an Uncle Tom anyway. You feel me? I think Shabuzi was innocent in his ignorance.
Right, yeah, I do too. But I would also tell young boys watching that it's important to understand that slavery was like, it was coerced labor. And it was 400 years of, it was 400 years of free labor, and that built their core wealth.
Yes,
Right? You see what I'm saying? So,
gave birth to the Industrial Revolution.
There you
gave
go.
birth to capitalism. If it wasn't for slavery, there would have never been a European
you
Industrial
go.
Revolution.
The cotton,
Capitalism
the
would have never
textile
even
industry,
existed.
yeah.
Because you gave yourself a 250-year
Goodness.
head start in America, 350 to 400-year head start in England, Portugal, and other places, right? On taking unfair advantage of human beings and treating them as personal property. Never again will you see that happen in human history.
Right.
Y'all did that because it took the rest of the world over a century to warm up to the idea that your culture is very beast-like and animalistic, that you don't have a moral code at all, no type of integrity when it comes to what you do to other people. And so it was that animalistic instinct of the Caucasian that gave him an inhumane advantage over the civilized peoples of the world. And so the civilized people became the victim, and the uncivilized people started calling themselves civilized and calling us uncivilized.
that's crazy.
Trading places.
That's crazy.
We traded places.
Craziness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Craziness.
Yes, sir.
Craziness. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl performance in particular also has some black people online in an uproar. And I think
What were
these
they
are-
saying, the black people? What was their
So
problem?
some people saying that it's an American sport, and you have someone speaking a language that Americans cannot understand. It's not our first language. So they're saying that why would an American sport have? I think it was the same point you make about Eminem. When you say that Eminem shouldn't be allowed to come in hip hop and be put on the grand stage, they're saying the same thing about Bad Bunny, saying that
I'm
he
going to
shouldn't.
disagree with them.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm going to
Remember
disagree
your
with
position
them.
about
Absolutely.
Eminem. Okay.
And I don't think the two are comparable.
Okay.
Eminem is participating in a cultural art form created by African people. He's a visitor in the house, right? Bad Bunny, again, who I never heard of until the Super Bowl,
Yes.
he's not a visitor in the house because the house is stolen property. You cannot dictate how somebody behaves in a home you don't own. If Loon breaks into a mansion down the street and I come and stay with Loon, and Loon start telling me I gotta pay rent, I'm telling Loon, pay rent to you for what? You don't even own the house. So how can you dictate Bad Bunny's behavior at the Super Bowl because you claim it's un-American when this country is un-American because it was not your property, you stole it. So if anything, go to the Native Americans and go to the Native Africans and ask them if they had a problem with what Bad Bunny did. But you can't go to the white man and say, did you have a problem with Bad Bunny's performance? Because the white man has no entitlement, no right whatsoever to dictate how people behave in a country he stole.
Right.
In
Now,
addition to that, Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans are citizens of America. The United States will be 250 years old on July the 4th, Loon. And guess what? The United States has never had an official language until Donald Trump recently signed an executive order clarifying English as the national language of America.
right.
So if he's speaking Spanish at the Super Bowl, why is it a problem if this country doesn't have an official language, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. My respect for the man, and I don't even know him, it went through the roof. Because I saw a Latino artist put Latino people on the map,
On the main stage.
on the biggest stage,
Yes.
in a way I've never seen a black artist ever do for black people.
What do you think about Kendrick's last Super Bowl performance?
I thought Kendrick's performance was good, but in no way,
You didn't see
shape,
any.
form, or fashion,
You didn't see any black symbolism in that. I think his
did.
whole push was
I
trying
did.
to. Okay.
He did not highlight no artists. The closest one I'm going to give is Beyonce, where she highlighted the Black Panther Party.
100%.
I'm going to put Beyonce over.
She shook that.
because it
Yeah.
was clear cut
Yes.
what she was doing, right? Bad Bunny though, Loon, he highlighted every aspect of Latino culture, from the grass they grow to the farm. He even had a Latino couple get married right there at the Super Bowl.
Right.
Talk about some Latino on Latino love, saving the Latino family. Look what he did. He had them playing cards. He had them drinking. He had the music. He had the love. He had the family. Every aspect of Latino culture he promoted, and then he hit you with the pan-Latinoism, as I would hit you with the pan-Africanism. He started shouting out all the Latino countries.
Yeah.
In other words, this ain't just about Puerto Rico. I'm going to go with the whole Latino movement. You see that?
Right,
So
right.
that was pan-Africanism, but flipped into Latinoism. You follow pan-Latinoism. And so what he did, I almost felt embarrassed, because I've rarely seen a black artist showcase black culture the way Bad Bunny unapologetically did for his people.
Because it was, if nothing else, unapologetic.
Oh,
He
unapologetic.
didn't speak English. He didn't try to bring the English
Yes.
speaking artists on
Yes.
He didn't try to pander
Unapologetic.
at all. He stood on his heritage, what they stand on. He went for what he
And
knew.
he went hard.
Yes.
Now, we talked about the cultural. Let's talk about the political. Why did the Super Bowl?
Before we go there, because I think we're going to cook there. Before we go there, I think another reason, let's talk about if we could be upset in the same way we were upset about Eminem, because I still want to speak about
I
that,
think
right?
they're two different things.
I know you do, but I'm going to add another layer to it, which is Jay-Z is the person that is curating
I don't think Jay-Z made that call.
100%.
I don't think Jay-Z made that
Rock
call.
Nation has the deal. They have the
They
deal.
got the deal, but
Well, it's going to be blamed on him whether or not he made the call or not.
we agree on that. You feel me? But if I'm Roger Goodell, you may be my entertainment.
Oh,
person.
you said
understand?
it. Yes.
Because you remember, Kendrick got backlash for calling Drake a PDF.
Yes, so you saying this is an NFL thing?
I
They
think
kind of
the
stepped
NFL
in and
said,
said we're going a different
"We're
route
going a
under
different
the
route this
umbrella
year."
view. Yes.
Especially because you let him get up there and throw these innuendos at a Super Bowl.
And from a business perspective, appealing to the Latino community, which is an untapped market for the NFL.
Exactly. Now, the reason they went there, Trump just kidnapped the president of Venezuela. He got ICE agents all over America kidnapping Latinos of every ilk, deporting them. America looks real bad in Latin America right now. This was a propaganda stunt to improve America's image to the Latino people. Why? Because America has more to do in Latin America. Bad Bunny does not get that stage if the white power structure doesn't have plans for Latin America.
Wow. That's deep.
The underlay for the overplay. Watch how it comes.
Now, you know, by default, if we entertain that, by default, we're saying Jay-Z is controlled.
All black celebrities are controlled.
You don't
All
think
black celebrities
so?
are.
Jay-Z still hasn't broke the chains with his level of
Break the
wealth.
chains.
You can't tell me you're fighting your entire life to break these chains, and it's impossible to break them. You're on the same fight to break whatever chains that come. You're a celebrity now. I hope you know that.
By default.
Exactly.
Not by intent.
It don't
There's a
matter
difference.
about-
No, it's a difference. You want
No,
to know
no,
why?
no,
Let me
sir.
tell you why there's a difference.
No, sir.
Let me tell you why there's
Go
a
ahead.
difference. Celebrities by intent. I want to be a rapper. I want to be an actor. I want to be a comedian. By intent. Your whole career was spent making deals with white people. I've never made a deal with a white person in my life. I am free as you can be on a plantation. You understand? Jay-Z got contracts. Kendrick got contracts. Rihanna, Beyonce got contracts.
I need you to know that was the name of an album. Kanye,
What was it called?
as free as you can be on a plantation.
As free as you, because I'm still on the plantation. I don't own this, but I'm as free as you can be. I have no agreement with no white person anywhere. And I get white people who contact me all the time. I can take you to the next level. People love you. I can do this for you. I can do this for you. I can't do it, Loom. Because the minute I sign with one of y'all, I'm no different than the rest of them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to be the exception. Am I perfect? No. But I'm the exception because I'm the only one who's known on that level who can say I have no contract with no Caucasian. You can't name me a comedian who can say it. You can't name me a rapper who can say it. You can't name me an actor, a dancer. Who can you name in the world of entertainment who can say I am not beholden to white people at all? I'm the only person I know.
You're the only one I can say with confidence that I have not seen take a white deal in any way.
In any way.
Yeah, and that's
In
something.
any way.
You know, I don't tell lies. I don't have a reason
Right.
to. And niggas
In
know
any
I don't
way.
do no capping or nothing. But here's the thing. Let's get back to the Jay-Z conversation because I think it's interesting that you're saying he's being used as a political shield. Now, you're not saying that
But why did
outright.
he get the contract? Jay-Z was brought to the NFL's table to deflect from the fact that they didn't want to give Colin Kaepernick his job back. Jay-Z knew he was being used as pass interference. He knew he was being used as pass interference. And if you remember when he first came to the table, he got a lot of backlash from Black America. Remember? They got on him about
Yes,
that.
yes.
So you're not going to do nothing about Kaepernick's job? No, he ain't going to do nothing about Kaepernick's job. And I'm not going to call him a sellout because I have to see what your Machiavellian play is. See, I
Is he
thought
selling
Jay-
out or buying in?
Exactly. I thought, hoping Jay would say, let me buy a team and let's give an NFL team its first majority black owner because none of them have that. Maybe that still is his play.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably the play.
Sometimes I got to wait to see a long game. But so far, I haven't seen any game.
Yeah, now for sure. Now, let's talk more about Bad Bunny's performance. So, you're saying that, I want you to button that up. So, you're saying because the way that America is being viewed from a
Yeah.
Latino perspective, from a Latin perspective, they did that to kind of sweep some of that under the rug.
Absolutely. That was propaganda.
Wow. I didn't even think
Latinos
about
back
that
in
like
our
that.
side. Because Latinos are not a large percentage of NFL players. Do you follow me? NFL is just like the NBA.
That's why people were outraged. They're saying that Latinos are not represented in this market. Like, where did this come from? And I think you're saying the political push, I mean, I don't have any evidence to the
But
contrary.
there are Latino players, though.
Yeah, of course, of
They're
course.
just not the
Yeah,
majority.
of course, they're
But here's
minority.
my thing. America took Texas from Mexico. Puerto Rico is a colony of America. America tested all kinds of dangerous vaccinations and other things on the Puerto Rican women. Remember, the Puerto Rican women were tested with the first birth control pill. Yes, they went sterile and everything with the birth control pill. So when you look at the human rights abuses against the Puerto Rican African family by the United States of America, whether there is a Latino football player or not, just by virtue of the hell that my Latino African brothers and sisters have caught, they had a right to that stage. You feel me?
What about the part where, did you watch it? Did you actually watch the performance?
Yes.
Okay, did you see the two guys gyrating and kind of on each other? It was...
I saw a still shot. I didn't see it in...
I seen it live.
I saw the still shot. We do know Bad Bunny is pro-LGB, right?
Right. So why would we ignore that agenda?
We don't have to ignore it.
Okay.
I didn't appreciate that.
Okay.
I didn't appreciate that, right?
Yes.
And I think that now he claims he's not LGB. He just supports.
Right.
But I didn't appreciate that.
Yes.
And I would have rather he had left that out. But I understand he stands on that. And it wasn't excessive, although I wish it wasn't at all.
Yes.
But it wasn't
It
excessive.
wasn't excessive, you're
Yeah.
right. But it was on the, it was prime time. Like
got you.
the shot they gave
He's
it was nothing else really going on, and it was like focused on.
You just gave me an idea. What did I just say a minute ago? America tested the first birth control pills on the Puerto Rican people. We know that the LGBT agenda was pushed through the shadow government by way of Barack Obama to reduce our population. Is it possible that America is trying to sweet talk the Latino people into another population control campaign? Think about
Because
that.
I was wondering, who agenda is this? Like, who
It's the
agenda?
white man's agenda. Oh, it's the white man's agenda. They want Latin America. The white man has plans for Latin America. Let me give you a little bit more game on this. As someone who speaks in the Caribbean on a regular basis, we do know the white man is trying to colonize black Caribbean islands. They're going in there buying up the properties. They're going in there stealing the properties because white people are tired of living north of the equator. They want to live close to the equator or south of it. They're tired of the cold.
Right.
They want the warm,
Right. Yes.
And so they're trying to bait Africans to move to Europe and take their place.
Yes.
Same thing they're doing with us with the suburbs, right? Come move out here, and they come right back into the heart of Nashville.
Yes.
They come right back into the heart of Knoxville.
Yes.
They come right back into the heart of Chattanooga, right? Let's get these silly Negroes, since they love being around us so much, let's entice them out,
Yeah.
and we're going to take
And
this
that's
spot.
prime real estate.
That's what they're doing in the Caribbean. So guess what's next to the Caribbean? Central America and then South America. So is it possible that the White Man Next Colonization Act will be Central and South America?
Also, as it pertains to Bad Bunny and his performance, I don't know if you're aware of this, but multiple House Republicans pushed for probes into the NFL, NBC, and even FCC
Regarding
over Bad Bunny's halftime show, calling the content illegal and objecting
illegal how?
provocative material and the show being mostly in Spanish.
No, because America did not have an official language until Donald Trump's executive order. I don't think they win that.
Right.
I don't think they win that. And America constantly propagates this concept that this is a land of immigrants.
Yes.
How can you deny them? Think about it. You don't even have to speak English to get services in this country. If I have to evaluate a child who speaks Spanish, they're
Yeah,
gonna
get a
bring in
translator. Yeah.
You follow what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yeah.
America has catered to the Spanish speaker for the past 50 years or so. Now we're not going to cater to the Spanish speaker. I don't think they win that fight.
You know, they also had Kid Rock and others do their own kind of halftime
So
show.
that to take away from it, but it didn't work much. Kid Rock still got about 6 million views, but that was nothing compared to Bad Bunny. They saying his viewership may have been the most in history or something like
Yeah,
that.
the Complex reported the wrong numbers. We were on the email chain yesterday where they said that they had to retract that. I think he's number 5. Kendrick Steele
Okay.
beat him out.
Okay.
And I think Mike is 2. So I think it goes Kendrick, Mike, Rihanna. He's somewhere along that
I
list.
got you.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, as I said, I felt embarrassed because I've never seen a black artist put black culture and history on a stage as big as that as unapologetically as Bad Bunny did it. He repped his people in a way we seldom do.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I wanted to speak to you also about I'm getting a growing understanding of a movement called FBA.
Okay.
Pan-Africanism and FBA. How do they contrast or complement one another?
Okay. Well, first of all, Pan-Africanism is the black man's oldest formal political ideology. We gave birth to the first free, independent black nation in the world, Haiti. Right. Pan-Africanists are some of your greatest black leaders, your greatest black organizers. If you're looking at achievements, nobody compares to Pan-Africanists. Nobody. Hebrews, Moors, Nawapians, Gods and Earths, Nation of Islam, I love them all. Nobody compares to Pan-Africanism. If you want to go achievement for achievement, you can put all them together. You don't touch us. Okay? And I say that respectfully, but it's the truth. Okay. ADOSFBA, respectfully, I'm going to go with both groups because they represent basically the same thing, but there are differences, right? So ADOS,
Which is a descendant of
no,
slavery.
they're first. FBA comes later.
Okay.
Okay, but they both exist. FBA is more popular, right?
Okay.
ADOSFBA. I don't have a problem with the American African people seeing the need to make it clear to other branches of the global African family that when you come here, you need to be clear that we built the house and rolled out the carpet for you. Be respectful in my home the same way you would want for me to be respectful in your home. So the concept of that American African identity, I have no issue with it. It needs to be done. It needs to be said. This is not new. What is new about it is the adversarial stance that they are taking towards African immigrants who come here from the diaspora, and the energy that they give them, the negative energy that they give them, which supersedes the negative energy you give to the white man who enslaved you then and oppresses you now. There's nothing a continental African immigrant can do to me that can supersede what the white man has done to me. There's nothing a
Instead of
Caribbean,
trying to-
Central South American
Well, what
African
if-
immigrant can do to me that can exceed what the white man has done to me. So why is it I can have so much vitriol, hatred, disrespect, animosity towards someone who looks like me just because they came from another place, when the white man who's responsible for my hell here, I'm never giving him half that energy. And then on top of that, it's contradictory in this way. You still identify with the white man. You are a black American? Since when? So you'll call yourself an American, but you'll never call yourself an African. Think about that now. After all I've been through in this country, I'm still going to wave their flag. After all I've been through in this country, I'm still going to use their colors. After everything I've been through in this country, I'm still going to identify with the plantation and call myself an American. So I don't have an issue with the concept. I take issue with the strategies and
What about if someone is saying that, all right, we look at anyone that is putting in our place and getting access to resources that belong to us because they built their core wealth off coerced labor from our people, but you can come in as an African, as a quote-unquote immigrant, and get certain access to things that maybe the foundational black Americans, what they call themselves, believe that, that's our stuff. And so I don't look at the African any different than I look at any other, ethnic group that comes over and tries to take that place.
If that's the case, where is your campaign against the Latinos? Because I don't see it. Where's your campaign against the Caucasian immigrants? I don't see it. Where's your campaign against the South Asian and North Asian immigrants? I don't see
But see, what I think fragmented everything is the reparation talk. And so I think the reparation talk, a lot of the foundational, and I'm, I could be speaking out of school, but my limited understanding of it is, I think that they believe that the reparations belong to descendants of slaves.
Well, I'm going to say this as a Pan-Africanist, because we invented the reparations fight. It don't come from FBA. It don't come from ADOS. This was around before they were born. You feel me? Pan-Africanists gave birth to it. Reparations for me is not about different groups and sects of the race fighting for their crumb off the big pie. This should be one fight, one reparation. Do you feel me, Loon? We can split it up how we want to split it up after we get it. But by you fighting divided for the same restitution, you're playing right into the hands of your enemy. There was one slavery, took some of us to the Caribbean. There was one slavery, took some of us to the Americas. There was one slavery, took some of us to Central and South America, right? But there was one African slavery. So the Africans of the world, from the continent to the British, Canada had slavery, Australia had it, right? We should all come and sit down. Let's fight this together.
See, I think they reject
You
that.
would get it quicker.
Yeah.
You would get more. Because guess what? It's a united front. But because we hate each other more than we hate racism. Because we hate each other more than we hate racism, I don't want to unite with no black Africans. I don't want to unite with no Caribbeans. And you got Africans saying the same thing. I don't want to unite with no descendants of no slaves, right? I want to fight my own thing. So ECOWAS got their own fight. Black British got their own fight. Canada got their own fight. Black America got their own fight. And it's sectionalized, sectarian.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody communicating with each other. So the white man going to play his old game of what? Divide and conquer, separate and rule.
That's why I wanted to have a conversation about the FBA and the Pan